All right, we are back. So I thought about all right, I thought about what I wanted to do today. And instead of running a new horse, I thought I would finish up the spark farming uh kind of experiment we were doing with the new support cards and whatnot. I also didn't play any this game at all today. So that's the other reason. I thought farming just to get in my farms would be good. Over the weekend, I was able to play a little bit, and we did run a bunch of Musume McQueens here, as you can see. Nothing really resulted in like great results. This one I think was a 2-star wit here. This one I think was like a 2-star speed. So not bad, but not, not the worst, but not the best either. And then you can see here, there's some like a C plus in here. So what I realized, I think the C plus was, yeah, using the 3 guts and the 2 wit here. So what I realized was that the support card makeup was sort of unreliable. And mostly because the lack of speed, basically the speed training early on in the career, kind of made the races a little bit more difficult than they should have been. And this one actually just crashed out in the middle, which I thought was kind of interesting. And then I did try one of these runs. I don't know which one it is here, but I did try. Oh yeah, this one I you can see here. I tried the support card that I was recommending last week, the last stream. I was like, oh, maybe 3 guts and 2 wit and 1 stamina. Maybe that's not the best because it seems like wit maxes out. Whatever, maybe a support card would be better. Blah blah blah. But you can see here, we actually didn't make the cut for speed or wit. I mean, wit was like 1 away, 599, so that's very unfortunate. But speed, we weren't really even close. And we made it on these other 3. This could have just been bad RNG. I think you can kind of see the RNG. Generally, you get like a B plus here. We got an A. This was a really good RNG. Mostly just because I think we were kind of close to 700 in a lot of stuff. And we were able to get a lot of, we got 3 golden skills here, stamina skills. Her ult leveled up to level 4 as well, which I don't know how that happened. Was I running a lot of races on her or something? I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, it looks like I ran more races on her than I normally do. But yeah, I guess this was just a good RNG run, and so ended up being an A. And then you can see like there's a C plus, and so I think generally speaking, I think a lot of these B pluses, some of them didn't make it. Like power, you can see here, it didn't make it. This one made it all the way through. You see here, guts and wit didn't make it here, which is funny because we're using I think we were using guts and wits cards here. We were, but those didn't make it. Here, speed and power didn't make it. This one made it. So it's kind of a mixed bag here. Yeah, this one didn't make it either. I think this one made it. This power one didn't make it. And this one was something else. We were using a different deck for this one. This was the speed and power deck, or stamina and power deck. So it's basically sort of unreliable. So that's why I thought I would do another farming stream today to see if we can sort of dial that in a little bit. I think I will run the support deck that I was talking about, just so you can kind of see it also. You can see what I'm talking about. Uh, and then maybe we could try tweaking the deck, because right now this is what I've been using, and it's not super reliable. Like I said, sometimes you get 600 across the board and sometimes you don't. I think a large part of it is because these are not max limit break, obviously. You know, if these were higher level, I think you would be able to get to 600 more reliably without failing. But we're using like level 25, you know, level 35, level 30. You know what I mean? It's just not these are just like basic, very basic level cards, so it's kind of hit or miss. Even if we had maybe 2 of these SR cards that were higher level, like we have on our regular, like, you know, Uma training deck. I guess I could just show you like some of these, right? This one's a level 40, level 45. You know what I mean? If it was more that way, even if our SSR cards are lower level, I think that would sort of make up for the difference. But we're using like very basic SR cards right now, so we definitely need that support card pull to happen sooner rather than later to sort of, you know, address that issue. But I mean, for the most part, you know, I think like more than half the time, or yeah, it's a little more than half the time, we are getting to 600 in all the stats. And then even if we don't get 600 in every stat category, we are getting 600 in at least 3 categories. So, you know, I don't know. You know, obviously I would like to have all 5 categories at 600 as much as possible, pretty much like 100% of the time. But I think we're sort of restricted by RNG and the low level of our cards right now. I think if these were higher level, regardless of the RNG, you would get 600 no matter what. So, you know, what are you going to do? Not a whole lot you can do. Good news is we're more than halfway to 30,000 to pull those support cards that we need. We're at 17,100 carats, it looks like. Let me, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, I think my window is a little too large here to see what's going on. So let me adjust that a little bit. Is that better? You guys seeing, you can't see the bottom, huh? Alright, let me adjust the bottom there. Maybe that should be better, I think. Maybe a little bit more, looks like. Sorry about that. I probably should have done all these settings before I got on stream. I thought I did, but yeah, that's better. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do all the daily stuff, because like I said, I didn't get a chance to. Oh, the other thing was, over the weekend this new race thingy popped up for Super Creek, and I was able to gather enough pieces to unlock her. So we have Air Groove now, and we have Super Creek now to run as new characters. So yeah, I think just playing the game, like, this makes me think, unless you have, you know, if you want to pull your waifu or whatever, I don't know exactly what that means, but, you know, I guess people do that. Then yeah, you could spend your carrots on pulling Umas on horses, right? But for the most part, I think the game gives you horses every so often, like often enough that you don't have to use carrots to pull Umas at all. Like, you can get a new one pretty much like 1 a week, I would say, depending on the events and stuff. So here, oh, this is a good example. You can see my daily store strategy is whenever I see a 5,000 gold star piece, I'll just buy it, because it's cheap enough to where it makes sense to. Because a lot of that gold I'll get back from either a career run, or I'll get it back from running a daily race, which we'll get to here soon once I finish all these. And our Maya no Top Gun that we made is pretty good for these. She pretty much wins every time. I don't think I've ever seen her lose. So those are those three races to get star pieces from. We, farmed about 20 some odd of them. And I'll show you. Oh, we have the Super Creek by looking here. So we unlocked a new character. So these two characters right here, Super Creek and Air Groove, we haven't run yet. So I'll probably run one of them tomorrow. I just wanted to show you guys the farming, the spark farming one more time. All right, so we did that. Got to collect whatever these things are. Sure, why not? Cool, thank you. And then we'll go back and the daily races here. So you can make your money back from buying the star pieces by running these. So I'll run this 2 times usually. And I could use my own Top Gun again if I wanted to, but I just use Grass Wonder because that's just what it's been on. And she wins, so I don't really care to change it all that much. I think I've seen her lose a couple times. So here you can see 3,000 and then roughly 3,000 more coins. So that paid for 1 star piece, right? And then we'll race it again since we have 3. And we bought 2 star pieces today, so if we run this one more time, we'll break even pretty much as far as the star pieces go. And then we spend a little extra. Oh, she lost. Oh, crazy. That's not something I'm used to. But whatever. It's close to, 5 grand. We got what, 4 grand from this run. So total we got 10 grand because we got 6 grand from the previous one and 4 grand from this one. 10 grand. We bought 2 star pieces. 10 grand. And then we spent 3,000 on alarm clocks and shoes so far, right? So it's a little bit of a loss, but we made a little bit of our money back. We'll make some more of it back during a career, also farming basically. Coins are pretty easy to come by, so I'm not really worried about spending a whole lot of those unless you're like running really low. You want to give yourself a good cushion and have a good amount in your bank account. But generally, you can, it doesn't matter if you spend them that much because you could always just make it back, right? And then these things I farm at least once a day for the upcoming, if I get support cards I can level them up, right? Because you need these, and these are hard to get, harder to get than the coins at least. All right, so that's done. We did all the daily races there. I think one of the daily requirements every day is to run a team race. I guess we stayed in class level 4 here, so that's good. Got the rewards for that. We're gonna run a team race just because you get rewards every day for doing this. I don't think I'm gonna go up or down in class level, just because I don't have enough horses to get more points, and I generally don't lose that much. I might lose 1 or 2 of these races. Generally I win probably like, I don't know, 75% of them I'd say. So she lost. See, you lose 1 of the races here. And Haru sometimes loses, so these we should probably rerun because we could definitely make a better Sakura Bakushino for sure now. And if you build her right, she'll win everything, pretty much. Alright, so we did that. That's our daily, all the daily stuff you need to do. And then when you do all that, you collect, I don't know, a couple 100 carrots maybe per day, something like that. All right, we didn't open the store all 3 times though, I don't think. Yeah, we have 2 left, so that's weird. Usually when you run the daily races and the race events, usually doing those will open it up. The other way you can do them is through the team trials. So I think we're just gonna keep racing these until we open the store up and exhaust the store. So I mean, it's just a couple minutes. just clicking through basically. I don't really care, the results, because we're not going to move up, we're not going to move down. We're pretty much stuck in class 4 till we run more horses. And we have 2 more. That should maybe get us into the next class, I think, because we were maybe 50k away. So we got 236, right? I think you need like 280 or 290, something like that, I believe, was in the last go around. You needed like 290 to get there. I'm not sure how much each horse is giving us. Does it say how many points they're giving? I'm sure it says it somewhere. The point score info, there we go. So they give about 20 grand for each runner. Okay, so if we ran 2 more, that's 40 grand. We'd be in about the 275 range, right? Is that enough to move up? No, it wouldn't be anyway. So we would need to train at least 3 runners to move up to the next class. So, I'm not really worried about it. So I'm not. These are more just to open the store. I don't know why the store is not opening though. That'd be crazy. This would be like the first time I haven't seen the store open, even after using all of my team races. That's not normal, I would say. It doesn't look like the store is opening yet. Okay, I don't know. Well, if it doesn't open, it doesn't open, I guess. It's kind of a waste though. I'll try to rush through this as much as possible here. Just so you're not stuck watching me click buttons. Although that's mostly what this game is, just clicking buttons. Still no store? Really? Oh, there we go. Just need 1 more store. So we got 2 more pieces here. So this is actually pretty lucky, or unlucky if you want to look at it that way. Because normally, they're, I don't know, whatever, they're like other horses that cost way more, like 10 or 15 grand. Seeing a 5,000 in there, there's some days I don't see any. And then today it looks like every single one of them has been a $5,000 piece, or 5,000 gold coin piece here. So we only have, I think, 1 team race left. So if the store doesn't open for this, then we're kind of hosed here. Not gonna get to open that last store. I don't think I've ever seen our A horses lose yet. Oh, maybe one time I did. I did see, I think Gold Ship lose one time to like a B plus horse too. It was kind of weird. That might have had to do something with the mood or something. Like they were in an awful mood, or something like that. Well, the store did not open, so we have 1 unused store. I don't know. Nothing you can do about it. We're out of races to run. So let's go ahead and collect whatever these things are. And then whatever these things are. Cool. Because there's a bunch of videos to watch. I'm not going to do that. Let's collect this. We only get 1. So whatever. That was it. Okay. And then this, if you look at the rewards list here. Well, not this. The bingo rewards list here. You can get Gold Ship and SSR speed card if you every card you finish. So you get it on the 3rd card as well. I guess on the 4th card you don't get her anymore. So you can get this card 3 times. So that means it wouldn't be max limit break, right? You would get enough to do 2 unlocks, 2 diamonds, and then you can get the other 2 from these events, I believe. These things. In the event, I believe you can get 2 of them. Then you can get a max limit break Gold Ship. Here's one. You have to get to 400k, and I might have gotten the other one already. Because I've already unlocked her once, I believe. Let's take a look. No. There she is. I haven't unlocked her at all, actually. So I only have gotten one so far. So I can get three more, basically. And 1, 2, 3. So she'll be right below max limit break. But, you know, for free, why not? I just need to get 400k points in the event thingy and, you know, play 3 bingo cards, basically. Right? And I think, actually, I believe I got Majuro Dober, this card, this wit card, for free in the last event, and I was able to max limit break her. She's leveled up all the way, 50 out of 50. So I'm guessing that it's the same way for Gold Chip. I'm just not saying something. There must be something, you know, somewhere I'm just not seeing where you can get more of her cards to max limit break it. And this card, when you look at the bonuses and stuff, it's got a friendship bonus 20%, a training effectiveness 5%. So at level 30, right, you get 25% training. Mood effect, you get a little bit. You get friendship gauge a little bit. When you level it up, you get skill point bonus, hint levels, and hint frequency. And then, I don't know what this is, power bonus and hint frequency. So, pretty good card, I would say. Not like the best I've seen, but decent. I'm sure once you get this to level 50, the friendship bonus would be like 35%, maybe higher even. Training effectiveness would probably be like 10 to 15%. So that would make this a really good card if it got up to like 15% training effectiveness and like 30% friendship bonus or something. That's a 45% card, right? So you definitely want to play to get this, right? Unlocked all the way. It's definitely worth it. I mean, it's free, so why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? I mean, I get it, and it takes time and stuff, but, you know, as much as you can, you want to, like, take advantage of free stuff because it's free. Why not? This thing ends in what, 11 days it says, so that's almost 2 weeks. So that should be plenty of time to you know, get a lot of those rewards there. Anyway, that's enough yapping about that. Let's start the career here. Musume McQueen is what we're running, and I wanted to show you first the build that didn't work for me, which I thought might or it should work, and it just didn't. Maybe this run will be different, and maybe it will work, and I'll explain the reason why it doesn't work. So we used this deck, but instead of Majuro Dober here, which maybe I should keep her. Why did I keep this? 7% training effectiveness for 29%, initial wit, blah blah blah, specialty priority 30, and then what is this one? Is there something wrong with this one? 30%, wit bonus, friendship gauge, race bonus, specialty priority, friendship recovery. It doesn't have the training effectiveness on it. That's probably why I didn't go with it. So 29% and 30% is only 1% difference. So that's why. So here I was using, where is she? The support, where's the support card? Am I blind? What's going on? Oh, here she is. All right. And then we use Super Creek. And the reason why this didn't work for me was she doesn't give you any, like, training bonuses really. Like like the event stuff, yeah, sure, you get a little bit of a bonus, and the failure protection didn't really work out for me either because she didn't really show up in the same places a whole lot of times. Her resting, like her, if you take her, let's just go ahead and play this, and I'll explain it as I'm playing it. Did the sound go out? Oh man. Uh, Give me 1 second. I'll try to fix the sound. All right. I think the sound's back. Yeah, I hear it. All right. So what I learned doing this farming was that you want to train speed pretty much as possible in the beginning of the career. We picked a power Uma, 9-star power Uma as a parent, and then vodka is a 3-star stamina, I want to say, and a 6-star speed parent, right? Which helps, but it's not, as you can see here, her stamina and power and guts really are, in the 150-ish range, right? But speed is like, it's the lowest of all the categories right now. So because of that, her early races are kind of a struggle, actually. None of these trainings are really good, so we're gonna do the recreation. Okay. And you are trying to farm friendship in the beginning. Wow, this is really bad. I guess I could do recreation again. Okay. But because of the nature of the cards, they don't really show up in speed and basically like the important stats for races. They don't really show up in that often. So that's been kind of the issue, is I think why this deck isn't working out as well as theoretically it should. They just don't get enough speed, especially in the beginning of the career. Like you get some speed later on, right? Like, but in the beginning, the RNG is very iffy. Okay, we got it here. This is really good, actually. But the director here does not give any sort of bonuses as far as the training goes. I mean, you expend a little bit of less energy, I guess, taking that training. But you're not getting any stat bonuses from her, because she doesn't do friendship training either. So it's a rainbow that you're missing out on, basically, later on in the career. So I think the pros kind of outweigh the cons using the support card there. And that's what I've noticed running it myself before, just on my own. But I wanted you guys to see it, because I didn't want you to like run it because I said something that, oh, it could be good or whatever, and then it not work out for you, and you are like, why isn't this working, kind of thing, right? Well, I'm letting you know I tried it and I'm doing it now, and it doesn't really work that well. And maybe this run it will work, I don't know. But I think it's hard enough with just an extra wit card. Throwing in a support in there, in lieu of a wit card, actually makes the deck worse, right? And so it doesn't feel like it helps at all to me. But I guess we'll find out in this run. But even failing once, to me, is kind of like, do I really want to do that again? It didn't work out for me, so why would I want to do something that doesn't work? You know what I mean? This one might be a loss, actually. So I've noticed that in the first race of her career, I end up losing a lot and having to run another one. You can kind of, you know, eliminate that a little bit by front running her, but sometimes she doesn't lose. I mean, she doesn't win front running either. So here, I think I am going to, just because there's two other front runners here and two pace setters, so I don't want to get her stuck behind like a big pack. Okay, she won. So that was kind of lucky actually, because she generally it's like a 50-50 shot. Sometimes she wins and sometimes she doesn't, and the stats don't really matter. It just I don't know something, because the speed isn't like overly like 300 or something like overpowered. So she it's kind of a crapshoot what she's actually going to do in any given career. So I wish it was just more you know reliable and predictable, like what's going to actually happen. But I mean, I will say the career is a lot easier when she wins her maiden race. If she loses her maiden race, then you have to waste a turn um, racing another one, right? And she's not able to finish out her objective, either career objective 3,000 fans, just running another maiden race either. That'd be great if you could do two birds one stone, but unfortunately you can't. So then you end up losing a turn that you could have put in training. And each turn in this style of play is important, right? Because you saw on stream I was barely getting to 600, and for the most part I think in general that is kind of true. You're gonna have trouble getting, not trouble, but like it's gonna be a close call. Like pretty much every run I've done, except maybe one, that A run that I ran that you saw, the A horse. That one was pretty easy to get to 600 and everything. But generally, I would say that it wasn't so easy. That every run was kind of a nail biter. I don't get stressed out about it anymore. But it's definitely, like you saw, some of them didn't hit 600 in all the stats or whatever. You know what I mean? So, oh wow, that's really good luck here. And yeah, in this style of play, normally I'll go for stats, but it seems like friendship is definitely more important, because or else you won't reach 600 in all the stat categories without the friendship bonuses. So you kind of rely on the friendship very heavily, which is controlled by RNG. So like I said, I think maybe if the support cards were leveled up a little higher, if they were, the limit break was, you're able to get them to like level 40, level 35, something like that, it would be less of an issue. Actually, maybe not though. Also, you could need to run different support cards entirely, right? But in general, because the support card levels are low, it's harder to succeed here. It's not as easy to just do whatever and win. So I think we're gonna be okay here. Our speed is one of the higher stats. Oh no, it's not actually. Never mind. It is still pretty much the lowest stat. So we're gonna change her back to a pace setter, just because that's where she runs. I think basically anything over 200, like you're kind of in the safe zone. But that first 100, there's been careers where I didn't get any speed train. Like no Umas would show up in the speed training, so I didn't train her speed. You know, she was still in the hundreds, like 100s, um, until like her third, like the third objective in her career. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, yeah, maybe, yeah, like this race, I was still like 150 or something by the time I ran this race, right? And then after that, you know, you get like 17 turns of training. So yeah, her speed went up. But, you know, I've lost this one and I had to run another one. And then I even lost this one. You know what I mean? So training at speed early on, if you can, is really important. Just to get through the early part of a career. And then after that, you know, it matters a little less. I mean, it's always good to train speed, obviously. But like here, like this would not really happen that much in some of the other careers I've run, where they're, you know, kind of clumped up in speed enough so that it's worth it to take it. I've never seen this one actually. Okay. Ooh, double rainbow. But I don't think we can take that. That's a 50-50 shot. Or at least we shouldn't be taking that. Should I just take it on a 50-50? We do have the Kiruin. You're less likely to fail. I think that's already factored in though. 50-50 shot? I don't know. Damn it. Well, oh well, you know? It was worth the shot. Alright, so we'll just take the rest then. Yeah, none of these trainings are all that great. I guess I'll take the power for the friendship and the director. Oh, good. Speed. I like that. I think we can take the support card out on dates now. I believe. Maybe not. Maybe the next turn. Let's go ahead and do this one. Okay. Well, we're getting a lot of speed trainings. This is sort of not normal. I haven't really seen it spam this many speed trainings before. Oh, another double rainbow when I can't take it. Or when I shouldn't take it is really... I'm not gonna risk it. Doing this method is hard enough as it is. I don't want to hamstring myself even more. I already failed one training. Yeah, I mean, speed is important, so I'll take that. Not in love with any of those trainings. Take the rest. It's summertime now. Or it will be summertime in the next turn. Huh. That's 35. This is 24, 31. Plus some change. This is probably the most stats. So let's do that. That's 50 points. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that. But we ended up doing speed, which I don't mind actually. But I didn't mean to click on that. I think the only thing we can really do is wait here because of the failure rate. Did she fail? I think she failed that. Ooh, that would be a nice training to take, but unfortunately, again, we can't really take it because of the energy, I believe. 51% failure rate. I guess it's another 50-50 shot. Alright, whatever. Oh yeah, we got it. Alright, we're gonna need to rest for sure now. In race, I think we're out of the danger zone here. Because she's at least a 400 now in pretty much everything except for wit. I think that's good enough. We actually had a pretty good RNG run this time, which kind of disproves my whole statement that the support card doesn't work. But I mean, it's not over yet. But this RNG has been pretty good to us, I would say. And we've only failed because of like stupid stuff I did. That was my fault rather than anything to see. We're getting a lot of speed trainings here. 2 Omas in the speed. That doesn't really happen that much. So I don't know. Take that for what what it's worth. That in the maybe I guess at least 6 for sure, right? Farming runs that I've done. I would say maybe 1 out of those 6 runs, speed showed up a good amount of times like it is now. But in general, that's not what was happening. Speed lagged behind a lot, and I had to like force speed trainings, with no Umas there and stuff like that, just to get up to 600. This one seems a little bit more balanced this run, and getting a lot more in speed than normally happens. So I don't know what to tell you. We're gonna rest here. None of these trainings are screaming out at me. So maybe let's see if we can take a race. We can. Japan Cup. We'll take that one then. Fifth. Huh. That's surprising. Didn't expect that. That's generally not what happens. Okay, I think we opened up the dates with her now. So instead of resting, we can go on a date with her. Although the amount of energy you get back is not that much. It's only 35, I believe. Wow, speed again. Very unusual run to see speed that many times. None of these races are good either. I mean, trainings are good. We have a race she would be good in, so let's go ahead and race that. She should be winning these. Okay, she won that one. this should help her. Those races should help her get to her max ult level. I don't know if I should be taking wit now. I think I've been so starved on speed training that when I see it, I want to take it. Because it just hasn't been happening that much. I do need some wit though. That's a pretty big training. So I'm going to take stats this time. That's her ult leveling up. I don't know if there's 5 levels of her ult or how many there are, but I haven't seen it go all the way to 5. I've only seen it go to 4, I guess, and I didn't even notice it going to 4 that time it went to 4. Not really in love with any of these trainings either, so let's see if there's a race. There's a G2. I mean, I don't really like G2s, but whatever, why not? I really didn't like any of the trainings there. And we're 400 plus already, about halfway through the career, so I feel confident enough that we'll make our goals, that I don't mind wasting a turn on a race. And it's not a complete waste, because you do get some stat bonuses at the end if you win. I think it's at least like 2 or 3 at least in every category. And then I think you get like I don't know, a little more. Well, I guess we'll see. She won that pretty easily. Okay. Got a new trophy we didn't have. That's always nice. Whatever those stats were. We got 10 stamina. Basically 10 stamina is what we got. So, and we got 47 skill points, I guess. And got some fans too. So not as good as a training, but it's not a complete waste because you do get some stats. Maybe not in the stats that you want, right? Necessarily. But I don't really like these trainings either, so I think we're gonna take one of these recreations with the support. Get some energy back. The thing is, you stop getting energy back after the third date. After that, you start getting like skill points and like stat points, I think, here and there. Not a whole lot. Sheesh, these trainings are kind of just garbage, huh? Let's at least get wit up and the director's level, friendship level up, because you need the director to be a certain level. We might have missed it already. I think you needed the director to be orange by the time it was Valentine's Day, I believe. I could be wrong, I guess. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. Alright, we'll take that speed training. Why not? Second inspiration. Alright. Our ult did level up. I think for one of WoW. For one of the trainings though, or the ult levels, you need the director's level to be orange, or friendship level to be orange. So that's something we'll try to stay on top of. Fifth. That's really weird. She shouldn't be fifth. second. Huh. I don't know. I don't know what's going on here. Maybe because there's 4 front runners. It's possible that she's just getting boxed in at this point. Her wit isn't really all that high. Third. Are we gonna crash out here? Is that a crash out? We have one more. She did the best job as a pace setter. So this is, see, stuff like this is really like I don't understand it. Like she shouldn't be having any trouble here, but for whatever reason, she just hit a speed bump, and so sometimes in her career, you'll just see stuff like this. Do I want to watch this and see what's going on? I don't know that we'll see anything. I don't know, man. It makes no sense. I thought her stats were pretty good this run. Honestly, I've done worse runs where her stats were like, I'm like, oh wow, is she really gonna win with 200 speed? Like that's not gonna, you know, like I'm kind of worried about this, and like she has no issue, no problems. But you know, you get to this point in her career, and then she'll just crash out right randomly for no reason. She was doing fine all the times before, and then just decides to crap out on you. So I don't even know if I want to watch this. This might be aggravating for me. Become very aggravated watching this. Yeah, she looks like she doesn't really have an issue. So why did she lose all those times? I don't understand. Doesn't make sense. Yeah, she won. So, but now we have no alarm clocks. So, you know, you get what you get, I guess, now. That's really weird, though, that she struggled that much. Right there, you know, in the middle of her career. It makes no sense. Okay. So I don't think we should be having any issues now. Maybe. Her wit is a little bit lower than normal. Because generally this strategy kind of evenly trains the horse. So, oh wow. I think our power is in a good range. I think we're gonna hit 600 in power pretty easily. I think our speed is in a good range now. I think we'll hit 600 in speed as well now. Maybe we only need one more training and stamina, and then just guts and wit the rest of the way through, which is actually a good thing. I think if we do this training, we'll be set for the rest of the way on stamina. So let's just take that, even though it's gonna be summer. I know one of these is energy, I don't remember which one. Not that one. Okay. So if we have trouble here, then we're out. And we won't have gotten 600 in anything. Ooh, that was scary. Not having alarm clocks is kind of scary. I'm honestly kind of confused though why she lost so many times in that race earlier. That makes no sense. Alright, so I think we're just gonna mostly take wit here for the energy, and since we also, it's lagging behind. A double guts, we'll definitely take that. We'll take that wit. We're out of the summer. We need energy here. So we're gonna take the recreation. Take the guts. We're not getting any wit rainbows. That's kind of interesting. Normally we get more wit rainbows. We need some energy, so we'll take the date again. I think this is the last time we're getting energy. And that's why I think that's why I don't like the supports. Because the last two trainings you don't get any energy back, so it's just wasted trainings. And what you do get, I don't know that it's worth the turns. Because you don't really have that many extra turns in this type of career. Because you're trying to max out their stat points, right? And so wasting turns means you're not getting those points in that certain stat. And you kind of need all your turns. You know what I mean? And that's why I said, well, if your support cards were stronger, then you wouldn't need as many turns, right, to get to the stat levels that you want to get to. So then that, you know, that might make it easier. I don't remember this one. So the next two dates with the support card are kind of useless because you don't get any energy back. I mean, right now is a good time to take one, I guess. So let's go ahead and take it and we'll see what we get. It's kind of a waste. You get power went up a little bit. What was that? Blah blah blah. So we got an upgrade in mood, but we didn't need it. Our power went up by 12, and our skill points went up by 56. So it's basically like winning a race. It's like racing, in a way, without actually having a race. So it's risk-free racing. Wow, they're just not showing up in wit or guts, huh? That's interesting. When we have wit and guts cards. Okay, our alt leveled up, that's good. We got some wit rainbows here. Just one, but we might be cutting it close here. Just because the supports are not showing up where they should be. They're showing up in like other places where they don't need to be anymore. Well, let's take the last recreation with the support here, and I'll show you what we get. Stamina went up by 6, and skill points went up by 18. That's not even, that's less than what you would get out of a race, right? So it's completely not worth it. So like the last two turns of the support, I guess you don't have to take them, right? But you don't get any energy back, and you get like less than ideal rewards. So it's kind of a waste of a turn. Maybe with Tazuna it'd be a little bit different. I think you get energy back until the last date. And I think the last date you get like 50 energy or something. I think, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's why I don't think it's worth running at least the AoE Kiryuin support in this, you know, when you're trying to when you're farming basically. I don't think it really helps. And it looks like we're not going to make our wit goal. I don't think. 553, I think guts will make it, but maybe, I don't think wit will. Because we only have one more training after this. We'll get like 13 or 14 points after this race, and then we'll get like 30 at the very end if we win. 13. So we might miss it. I'm not even sure we'll make it on Guts. Unless we train Guts this round. Which I guess we should. Because Wit, I don't think we're making it at all anyway. So we'll just go ahead and secure the bag in Guts. I think we got it in Guts. But we won't get it in Wit. Okay. So as you can see, right, the support really didn't help all that much. That's why I think running the 2 wit cards is better than 1 wit and 1 support card. So whatever I said last week of how the support would be better or whatever, it's not true. I lied. It wasn't better. She does give extra points at the end, but it's only 6 points. So I don't know that that's worth it. I don't think that's worth it. So our final stats were 700 speed, which is actually decent. It's pretty good. 660 stamina, almost 700 power, 600 guts, and then 550 wit. So we came up a little short on the wit. So I think if we had run the second wit card instead of swapping it out for the support card, we would have hit 600 wit as well, right? And this horse would have been, you know, not the best, but like not the worst horse either. You know what I mean? I guess we'll see what the ratings are once we finish giving her whatever we're gonna give her here. I've done this so many times now. I think I kind of know which ones are good. We'll do that. We'll do that. We'll do this one. We'll do this one. I guess we could do that one. Oh, we have extra points here. Green skill? Maybe this one? I think this one will get the debuff. We got 180 left, so I guess I'll just take maybe this one? Sure. Okay. We'll see the rating, and then we'll see what we get here. We didn't, so this in if this was gambling at a casino, right, in a slot machine, instead of betting all the lines max bet, right, could that would be 1100 across the board, and then all lines with like minimum bet would be 600 across the board, right? We didn't do all lines. We only did 4 lines out of 5. And we got a 1-star power anyway. So, I mean, not that big of a deal that we didn't get 600 in wit, but let's say, you know, we would have given ourselves the best chance of a 3-star if we had gotten wit up to 600 as well. So that's unfortunate. But yeah. Now I got a bunch of these. I should probably delete some. But basically, some veterans, I mean. But basically, that's why the support card in your deck doesn't work for farming. Because you're robbing yourself of stats, basically. And I think that's true with any deck with supports in it, is that you're just robbing your horse of stats. Just because you're not getting as many. Because it doesn't give you any bonuses or friendship bonuses. It doesn't rainbow. You know what I mean? Maybe if there's a skill that the support has that you want to get, it could be useful, but I don't know that it's that any kind of support card is useful in any deck. Honestly, Tizuna is decent, I would say. I've used her quite a bit on my other account, um, but I don't know that it's better than just running a straight up, whatever card. You know what I mean? So basically, that's why you shouldn't run a support deck or a support card in your support deck, especially when you're farming. You just don't hit your goals when you do that. All right, so we got some stuff here. That's nice. What are we at? 60k. So we need to get to 400k, right, to get that gold ship support card. All right, so that was our first farm. I guess we're gonna farm again. And this time, what am I doing here? Oh. I even tried like different parents and stuff. And it wasn't, you want a 9-star power with that deck. Oh, I guess we could try, since you already seen me farm on the Guts deck, maybe we should try our original deck, right? The one that were originally using to train our horses. So that's a 3-speed, 2 stamina, 1 power deck, right? So then we could choose different parents here. Oh, you know what? I need to change this one then. We can see how that does. A different deck here. Everyone is changing their guest horse into Saiyan Sky, huh? I don't know for what purpose. I think we'll just stick with this one. I don't know how well this is gonna do actually, because the deck we're gonna be using is so highly specialized. But whatever. So let's see how hard it is. Using the deck that we've been using before. I think getting our speed, stamina, and power levels up to 600 is gonna be easy, right? But I don't know how easy it's gonna be to get to wit and guts. I don't know that I've tried this yet. Just like a farming, getting everything to 600 with this particular deck. Maybe we have tried it actually. I just don't remember. But it'd be good to a good refresh, just to see compare now, having run the guts deck, the guts wit and stamina deck, to see how it compares with this deck as far as the farming stuff. I guess running that guts deck, it has sort of informed my decision making a little bit, because now I do prioritize speed training over anything in the beginning, at least. Because before I wasn't really paying attention, I didn't really care that much, just because our speed, our parents legacy umas, they're mostly concentrated in these 3 stats in the front right here. So normally, your trainee doesn't really have that much trouble in her races, just because she has, got a bonus in those stats. But after running the Guts deck where she doesn't get those stats boosted, I'm more conscious of that now. Oh man, that'd be a good one to take. 20%? I guess 20% is not that high. No, failure. 20% failure. Okay, well, we need to fix her mood here. Did the sound die again? Oh man. Oh, you know what? I don't think I changed the picture back. uh, let me, sorry about that. No one said anything. Let me fix the sound. I realized that I didn't change the picture back to the game once I fixed the sound the last time it went out. I don't know why the sound keeps going out. Yeah, it's back now. Oh man. You just been staring at my ugly mug the entire time. You didn't even see all of the gameplay. Oh man. Why? Yeah. Why would you even watch it then? That's terrible. All right. Anyway, um, long story short, if you skip that section, was that the support card doesn't work. That's the TLDR. Is that having a support card in your farming deck doesn't really work. And it's better to just run a straight, you know, whatever, like speed card or whatever, a stat card, basically. That was the lesson. I really want to take this. Nope. Hmm. Oh, this one's good too. Can't fail them all, right? Alright, I'm not so worried about the races with these cards. Just because her speed and power and, all those, her stat levels are really high. Unlike the other deck, where those are kind of low. We're just not getting very good trainings here. Let's go ahead and schedule this race, just so we have it, so don't forget. Wow, all these trains are kind of garbage. I don't know. I think we'll be fine here. Getting a lot of wit trainings, which I don't mind in this playstyle, where we're trying to get to 600 stats. Wow. Big stack. No rainbows yet. It's kind of interesting. A lot of them are full friendship level now. Oh, okay. Now we're getting rainbows. Just one though. Like I said, in this style of play, getting their friendship levels up is more important than the actual stats. Although, now that we're running our usual deck, I don't know how true that is, because they're gonna rainbow in their stat categories, and we don't really need that many in their normal categories, right? We need more in like the off categories like guts and wit. So I don't know. I guess we can get to 600 quicker on these other stats. But then the rainbows are kind of useless to us, right, after that. So I don't know that it's that important to, follow the rainbows or whatever. 30 points is kind of a lot. Our failure rate's kind of high, though. I don't know if this is worth it, especially since we're not really lacking on speed. Of course, we got not the best rest there. Yeah, whatever. Where is everybody? I guess we can get speed as close to 600 as we can. And then not really have to train it anymore. Same thing with stamina. Energy's kind of low, so we'll do that. Energy's still low, so we'll do that. I guess we'll rest. These races should be pretty easy for us, just because the stats that matter are pretty high. Not a very good, not very good choices there. I guess we could run this race, why not? Doesn't look like we're having trouble with it. So, as far as career-wise, it's been pretty easy. Didn't have any hiccups like we did in the last run. The support card run. But we got like fifth for like no reason. I didn't really understand that. I guess we're running 3 races in a row. Oh yeah, that's right. That is what we're doing. That's fine. I'm sure she'll be fine. Third. I think that's okay. Okay, that is a lot of speed, so should probably just take that. These trainings are just not the best available, man. Not very good. Energy went down. She just did whatever she wanted. What the hell? I told her to go take the day off and her energy went down. That makes no sense. What? What? Why did her energy go down? That doesn't... not supposed to happen. Alright. Do the relaxing. Looks like wit is kind of the way to go here. I don't know. We do need some power here. So I guess we can just get the stats we need up. So we can start focusing on the other ones that are lacking. Not very good, my friends. I think this training might be the last one we do in stamina, but I don't need any more. I think we'll get to 600 with just that. Also, we have to train power up, so I think that's gonna get us where we need to be. Now we just need to train guts and wit, pretty much. It really doesn't help that the... oh, that's great. Oh, and then we get an inspiration too. Might be overkill at this point. in the speed and power categories. We probably don't need any more at all. Yeah, we're pretty much there. So we just need wit and guts now. Second is not good enough. I don't know why we failed there. We shouldn't be failing. Ninth? What the hell? Is this where we crash out? This might be a crash out here. It's maybe there's too many pace setters. Should we try a front? We could try a front. We have one more after this, so why not? Okay, she got first. Think maybe she just wasn't able to navigate the big crowd of pace setters. So front running her gave her enough space there for her to just, you know, do her thing. Which probably means her wit is a little too low. Because when we run the guts support deck, this amount of stats is good enough, honestly, for everything, really. So I don't know why she would fail. Although our guts and wit levels are higher when we use guts cards, support cards. So I don't know if we're gonna make it here to 600 in both guts and wit. It doesn't seem like we have enough turns left, especially with the piddly trainings of like 10, you know, 15, whatever we're getting from the guts and wit trainings. I'm not sure that we're gonna make it up to 600. We front runner again. Oops. Oh well, she won, so doesn't matter. I guess we'll take wit. We can take wit again. I guess we should take guts. Or we can just take wit again. I think I'm going to take a rest here to get our mood up. We'll take the guts. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get there. I think these trainings are just way too small. 13. I'm not even sure our power is going to get there at this rate. I guess I'll take a recreation, or should I take a race? A G2 is the only one available. I don't know that I want to take a G2 at this point in a career. I think I'll just take the recreation then. Okay. Cool. Get her a drink. Yeah. 13. This is just not gonna cut it. I guess we should secure power at least. That might be enough, I think, for the end of her career. This is a second to last race, I believe, right now. Okay, that's cool. And then I think we have one race left, I believe, in her career. Oh no, that was the last race of her career. Okay. So, trying to get 600 in all stats using this deck is definitely a lot harder than the guts deck that we were using. I think it's easier to get higher stats with this deck for sure. But like these 17 trainings, it's just not enough. You know what I mean? You kind of need the guts cards and the rainbows on them to get guts and wit even high enough to be worthwhile. I don't know that we're gonna even be able to get wit up to there. Yeah, 14 points is just not enough. It's piddly. I think we're good on power now. Don't really need to train it anymore. We shouldn't have too much trouble here in the URAs, I don't think. Oh, we front runner again. Oops. Oh well, we won anyway. Doesn't matter. I keep forgetting to change that back. Alright, 13. I think our wit is high enough to get to 600 now. If we win this race, I think we're right in the range at the end of the game that wit will get to 600. Oh, it's a front runner. I think this might be our last alarm clock. I think we need to change it back to a pace setter. The results. Okay. So we're moving on still. So I think our wit is locked in now, I believe. And then this is our last training here. Yeah, I think wit's in a good range. So I think we're gonna do guts, but we're not gonna make it to 600 in guts. Pretty much impossible. So I guess we should just lock in wit. Take the race. We should be able to win. Yep. Okay. This career didn't go so well, it looks like. We didn't really gain that many fans or anything. I think I did run like extra races too. That's kind of interesting. Alright. We'll let this finish out doing what it's doing. We will buy the skills. Sure, why not? Why not? Sure, why not? Didn't unlock as many skills here. I mean, we weren't really hunting for skills that much. This could be interesting, possibly. Looks like we have enough for cloudy days, so just get that. We used up our last skill points. 0 skill points left. Okay, so done with that. Our final stats were 750 speed, 700 stamina, and 644 power. And 636 wit. So we definitely probably spam speed a little bit too much. Even so, we probably spam speed and stamina a little bit too much actually. Maybe two pumps here and 1 pump here. So we could have had 3 pumps more of guts. But with how little we were getting from guts training, maybe 10 to 15 at most, let's just call it even 15, we would have only gotten 45 more, which still nets us at about 500, not even 500. So I think this is it's told us a lot, right? We've learned a lot from this, in a way. 1-star stamina anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So what did we learn here, right? I think we learned that the if you want to build like a super powerful horse in three categories, basically, you run, this is our basically our race deck, right? And then let's actually go ahead and get out of this. And I don't think I'm going to run the third farm on stream today. I think I'm going to end it here. Because I think I proved the point I wanted to prove, right? I don't really need to run a third stream to prove something else. Yeah. Okay. So what did we prove? Basically, this deck here with a Super Creek guest pole, right, is made more for racehorses, right? This is where we're getting like 1100 speed, you know, almost 1000 stamina, you know, 900 power, whatever it is, you know what I mean? And we just tried it with this deck to farm with 600 across the board. Doesn't work so well. You're going to be lacking in wit or guts. Probably most likely guts, because wit you can kind of train, because you don't really use any energy to train that. So even if you're low energy, you can just keep taking wit and get that up high enough. But your guts are really going to lag behind, and so you won't be able to train a 600 across the board horse, right? With this kind of, this is more specialized for speed and stamina and power. Okay, but then when you use this guts deck, right, 3 guts, 2 wit, right, we already proved that the support wit doesn't really work. I mean the support card, AoE Kirin or Tazuna, doesn't really work because it's robbing you of stats, right? So when you run this deck, you get a more evenly trained horse where it's 600 across the board, right? And so I think this is actually useful knowledge to know this, that you can create specialized horses, right, with like a race deck as we're calling it. And then here is more of a farm deck, where you're using the off meta cards of guts and wit, you know, support cards, and you're creating a more well-rounded horse, right? And this is with we're creating a 600 across the board horse with, you know, 0 limit break cards, basically, right? These are all very big, except for this one, Mishiro Dober, which I don't really feel like is the best card anyway. I think if we had higher levels, you know, one of our other wit cards would probably be better. But because it's the highest available that we have is why we're using it. Just because all our other stuff is just not as good. So these are all the best available. But if these were leveled up more, I wonder if creating like an 800 across the board horse, right? Because I've gotten close to 700 across the board. On a really, really good RNG run, I can get 700 stats in every category. All 5, right? So if these cards were like level 50, or level 40 or whatever, level 45, right? Then could we make like a 900 across the board horse, right? To make a more evenly trained horse across the board. And would that be better than a specialized 1100, 1100 horse, with like 300 on guts and wit? You know what I mean? So right now it's more for farming, and you create more of a mid horse, a B level horse, right? With 600 across the board. But when you can start creating an A level horse across the board, where I think A level is I think 800 is a B plus, right? Is that how that works? Let me check here. You can check one of our A horses here. A plus is 9, so I think 900 is considered an A, if I'm not mistaken. It seems like, right? These are A pluses. 940 is an A plus. Should we check a B plus horse? S is anything over 1,000. So maybe 800 is an A, right? It seems like 800 is an A. Yeah, right here, 800. Anything I think over 850 is an A plus, and anything over 800 is an A. So if we can make an across the board 800, 800, 800, 800, 800 horse, would that be better than something like this, where it's 1,000, 11 SS rated, you know what I mean, S rated in 3 categories, and like D rated and or whatever in 2 categories, versus an A rating all the way across? You know what I mean? And the way to do that would be to use, again, guts cards, right? And wit cards like this, because this got a 600 across. I mean, we're struggling a little bit right now, but once these are leveled up, I don't think we'd struggle anymore. And it could be on a good run. Like I said, I'm getting 700 pretty much across the board. Maybe not, fully 700, like 650 on this one, 700 on this one, whatever. But it's over 600. So I'm wondering, the better the cards are, and especially if we get a different variety of them, because I don't think these are like the best, available guts cards either. Like if we get better guts cards and we level them up, then I think it might be possible to run 800 across the board horses, right? That's not out of the realm of possibility, because it's only like 100, 150 points away at this point in every category. But that's 5 categories, so that's 750 points we have to make up. Could we make up 750 points? That is kind of a lot, actually. So it might be a little bit out of reach, but I don't know, maybe it's not. I think it might be possible. And so I think what I've learned, at least, is running these off meta support cards, they could be good. They could be really good, to create a 600 across the board horse. Maybe what I should try is a 3 guts, 1 wit, and like the guest 1 speed card instead of stamina. Or I could run my own stamina card, so 1 wit, 1 stamina, and then a speed card. That could be something I try. Having the 1 wit really sort of hurts a lot, though. So having at least the 2 wit definitely does help. Would it be better to get rid of one of the guts cards? Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could try it. I could try it. All right, why don't we just try it then? So let's go ahead and start another career. So I think we've proven that running our normal, our normal deck to create, good horses doesn't work for farming, right? So we had to come up with our own farming deck, which is mostly guts and wit cards. Right, for farming purposes, but I think eventually it could lead to a really good horse, right? So instead of Super Creek this time, I think we're gonna try Kitasan Black. I don't know that this is gonna be better actually. I mean, it has training effectiveness on this one too, actually, so it shouldn't be that bad, and we should get speed more. Speed training, I mean. So let's go ahead and try this instead of Super Creek. I was only using Super Creek because our stamina number was not really getting there. But it made her career a lot harder because we weren't getting as many speed trainings as we would like in the beginning of her career. So she was really struggling in her races, right? So maybe swapping Super Creek for Kitasan Black will help to, because Kitasan Black's already here in speed. Oh wow, we gotta take this one though. There's 4 of them there. So hopefully maybe this will help with some of the career difficulty at least. Or maybe not, I don't know. It's so we'll try this and see how well this does, and then we have something concrete to compare to now. Obviously it's just one run, so you know we might get kind of a bad run or maybe a really good run that might skew a little bit of the thinking behind this, but I think we can get enough of a sense of like how different it actually is from what we've been doing to kind of come up with a good, like, you know, a good sense of which one will work the best. Yeah. Man, these trainings just are not very good here. So I'm gonna take a recreation. That didn't help me. I mean, it did, but it didn't at the same time. I wanted energy. I think this is wit. Yeah, I didn't really want to do that either. I'm picking the wrong choices here for the little events. This might be a resting turn. I don't like that. Sleep deprived sucks. Not getting great trainings again. I guess we should do speed. How did our wit get so high? Oh, we trained it a bunch in the beginning, huh? Well, I'll go ahead and rest again. Why? Why sleep deprived? Again. I'm not sure how we'll do here. Normally, yeah, her speed is kind of not the greatest. 5th. Oh, that is terrible. That's okay. We might have trained a little bit too much there in that opening. You want to be at least like at 200 for her first race to like not worry about it. Anything below 200 is kind of iffy. She might win, she might not, you know. Not really sure what the results will be. But the way that these trainings have panned out, you know, we're not really getting a whole lot of speed here, and that's been the issue. That has been the issue. Oh, why did we fail that? No, that's not good. Hmm. Failed again. So yeah, I think yeah, that's not good. I think we need to fix her thing. And then we need to fix her thing. That's good. We're getting close to the end here. I don't know that we would actually win this. Oh yeah, maybe. So let's go ahead and do that. I mean, her speed is just in the gutter still. I don't know that we're gonna win this. We'll try. Okay, we won. Okay, cool. Yeah, we're way behind right now. It's gonna be kind of tough to catch up. Stuff yourself. And then let's schedule her race that she needs here. This one. Let's see if we can dig ourselves out of this hole that we've created from failing 2 trainings. Wow, none of these trainings are good though. Did she like lose stats in like every category or something? It just seems like these were a little bit higher than, like, they were higher before. Were they not? I don't know. It feels like they were. I'm gonna do another recreation here. Okay, we need that. We need to get out of this hole. We need to catch up. I will take any stats they give us at this point. I don't care what they are. I will take them all. Okay. Nice. I do like how they're stacking up like this though. I think they all know that we're behind. We're in the hole and we need to dig ourselves out of this hole. We're way far behind. This might be a resting turn. I think the other Umas all know that as well. Nice, well rested. I like that. Gonna take this race. Hopefully we win this one. We're up over 200, so I think we will. Third. I think that's enough to get enough fans for... Yes, barely. We're still digging ourselves out of this hole that we created. Should have played it safe there, but, you know, whatever. I don't think we're that far behind at this point. We're in the 200s. That's actually not that bad. I mean, it could be better. We're getting a lot of these attack of the feast things. I like this. Oh, but she got a... What does this do? I think this is the risk of that. She's starting to put on some weight. Cannot gain speed. Oh. Oh, that's a bummer. That's okay. We can do something that doesn't require speed then. Oh, everyone's in wit though. You don't really get that much speed from wit, so I think this is whatever. I think the fatness just wears off after a while, right? She stops being fat after a while. Let's maybe do this one. Maybe she'll stop being fat. Her mood went down. Most of her trainings have some speed tied into them though, huh? Because we're running guts and wit. So speed is definitely part of that equation. I mean, it's only 6 that we're missing. I mean, every little bit counts, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Is it gonna wear off here soon though? It needs to wear off though. No, not gonna wear off. That is unfortunate. Because now we're losing out on like 20 points or something. I guess I could just run stamina instead. It needs to come off. I mean, that's kind of a lot of turns that she's had this fatness thing on her. I think we need to get the fatness off of her. Stop being fat. Okay. I don't think I would have cured it, but waiting for it to drop off was just kind of killing the gains a little too much. So I guess I could have just waited again because I would take this one. I don't know, man. You can't know everything in advance, so whatever, it's fine. We gotta make up for some of that lost time though here. 30 points in speed. We probably lost about 20 points in speed because of that stupid fatness. I guess, sure. Did she fail? What the hell? This run, man. This run is just not going my way. I think we dug ourselves out of the hole though, at least. We're kind of like on par with, you know, we're not doing so bad. It's not so bad. I mean, it's not good, but it's not bad either. I guess we'll take this. What are we lacking here? We're lacking in guts and stamina. Stamina, I understand stamina. Guts, I don't understand why we're lacking in stamina. I mean, guts. We have a bunch of support cards in guts. It makes no sense why guts are... I mean, granted, we haven't been training it that much. So that's part of it. Let us do some resting here. I guess we could have taken a race there instead. Just because we didn't get that big of a rest. But these cards are not stacking up in the places I want them to. But this is an issue at this point. I guess we'll take this one. It is the best available. I don't know which one's good here. Okay. This might be a struggle. Our stamina is a little lower than it should be. 238 is pretty trashy. Okay, we won. Whatever. I think we need to work on that stat though. Normally, since we ran Super Creek before, Super Creek would fill that hole a little bit, but now that we're filling the speed hole, the stamina hole is forming. And I don't know how easy that is to fill actually without a stamina Uma. Because we have guts Umas. So our support cards are not really going to... Oops. I think I should have rested there. I wasn't really paying attention. I was thinking too much about how to fill that stamina hole. Well, this is why we tried it, right? We tried this different deck here with using Kiddos on Black to see how it would do against the Super Creek deck. And so far, I mean, other than the bad luck we've had, this might be the crash out area though. We just don't have enough stamina. It's a long distance track. On the medium, you know, we did okay. But on long? Yeah, we're really struggling here. I guess we'll try one more time as a pace setter, just because her mood's great now, and it wasn't before. 8th. She's doing worse and worse, actually. She's not getting any better. We could change her to a front runner. I don't know that would help at all, because she's already at S pace. She's an S in pace. So I think her stamina, lack of stamina is really just, you know, it's not doing her any favors here. I think by this point in her career, with Super Creek in the deck, she would be like at least like a 300 across the board, right? But with Kiddos and Black in the deck, you know, speeds. I mean, I guess I didn't have to take those speed trainings, and I could have just trained stamina instead. But I think Super Creek is filling a hole that, you know, that we can't really fill right now. Filling up the speed hole with Super Creek in the deck isn't that hard. You just train speed a little more. And then, you know, some of the races are going to be harder than otherwise they would be. But it's better than crashing out here in the middle of the career, right? You want to make it all the way through the career, and I don't think we're going to win this. We got second? How's that possible? We were getting like 8th. So I don't know, something fishy's going on. But we failed her career, I believe. Or no. Did she not have to come in? Okay. She just needed the place. Okay, so we made it. But we used all our alarm clocks here. So we're gonna really need to fill the stamina hole as much as we can. But I think this only has 1 turn between this race and the next. Oh, 11 turns. Okay, we got some time. So we might have to force some stamina training. I think I'm gonna rest here. So I don't want to fail. Oh my god. Because I don't want to fail any trainings, and nobody's there, of course. So let's do a recreation. Get her mood up. I've never seen this one. That one? I don't know. Okay. There's some stamina. I like that. Nobody training in stamina again. Oh my god. I guess power? We could get some in power. This is a good training. Guts is kind of like stamina, right? It's like a substitute for stamina. The director's there. I guess that's good. Hmm. I don't like any of these trainings, so I might just take the wit. Why is our speed so low? I thought it was like 400. Are we still in the hole? Maybe we didn't dig ourselves out of the hole enough. Okay. 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 We need to dig ourselves out of the hole more than we already are. We'll do this. And then it's time for carrots. Give me some carrots, yes. And then this is more energy, yes. We need more stamina. I don't know that we have a choice here other than to just do the stamina. We haven't even got this Uma's friendship level all the way. Just been a bad run. Just really terrible. We're just not doing so hot here. Not succeeding at all. Power gives us a little bit of stamina, right? So we'll do that. I think by this race you should try to be 400 across the board. I think this is stamina. No, it's guts. Maybe we should just finish off the friendship there. Not sure that will help us at all. We have a huge stamina hole. It wouldn't matter. Oh my god, really? It wouldn't matter so much if she wasn't a long distance horse, but her career kind of depends on having a lot of stamina. So we might crash out here. This might be a crash out. Just because their stamina is just way too low. I don't know that I should risk this. We already failed once. Okay, this should help. The inspiration should help. There's some... I think there's some... No, there's no stamina in this inspiration, I don't think. 22? Okay, we got 22 stamina out of it. It's not the worst thing in the world. Got 16 more here. So we're not quite at 400, but I think, you know, we might have enough. No alarm clocks, so if we crash out, we crash out. We crashed out. So yeah, that was a terrible farming run. We didn't hit 600 in anything. So when you crash out that hard, I mean, RNG was pretty terrible this run. It's one of the worst runs I've been through, actually. Part of that was my fault because I failed twice in trainings. Although the percentage of failure wasn't that high. I think it was like 20% or something. They weren't like in the 30s. They definitely weren't orange. They were like in the blues still. And they just decided to fail twice, and that didn't help. Because then she got practice poor and awful mood, which took 2 or 3 turns to fix. And so we were a little bit behind. We were in the hole. Without those failures, we might have been 400 across the board. But even so, it was just really tough to get stamina to train, right? Because we weren't, the bonuses that we were getting just weren't that big in them. So it's almost like the last run where we ran the normal racing deck, right? And we were finding it hard to train guts. It just wouldn't go up that much. Oh, you're getting like 10, 15 at a time. Same thing here, but with stamina, right? Without when we ran Kitas and Black, yeah, our speed level is better, but our stamina is really hurting, right? So I'm not even sure if it's worth giving her these skill points. I might as well just delete her, unless somehow she turns into like the best parent ever. I don't think so though. She's not gonna get a 3-star for sure. So I don't know why. I don't know what value this horse would have. Um, oh, excuse me. Oh, not enough. This one? Sure, why not? this might not even be like a C. Maybe it'll be a C. So yeah, we're not gonna get 3-star in anything here. I don't think you can get a 3-star without getting 600 in the stat. So if we're lucky, we'll get a 2-star. It's just a regular C. 1-star power. Alright, so I think that proves it then, that we tried to run Kitas and Black instead of Super Creek, and it just doesn't work. Like, the stamina hole is too large. Having Super Creek in the deck fills that, plugs that hole, right? And then you're able to kind of get the other stats up to 600. Not easily, but I mean, speed is probably the toughest one to get up there. There is a little bit of a speed hole, and then depending on where you're at in your career and your RNG, your speed may not be high enough to win at all the races, you know what I mean? So it might make the career a little tougher than maybe, you know, whatever. I guess you could try running 2 Guts cards instead of 3. Maybe the 2 Wick cards I think you need to have. And, you know, maybe this could be, 1 could be stamina, and maybe 1 could be speed. I guess I could try that, but I don't know. I think you need at least, I've tried to run 2, 2, and 2 before, like 2 of one kind, 2 of another, and 2 of a third kind of card. It doesn't really work out that well because they never really rainbow together. Then you only get single rainbows, right? Even with 3, you don't really, I don't really ever see 3 rainbows. You have to be really lucky to see all 3 rainbow. Most of the time I'll just see 2. That's like the most you'll get. And then here with just 2 Wick cards, you will get double rainbows. I have gotten those, not as many as Guts, but I do get some with Wit. But this is kind of like a double rainbow Wit card, or Wit stat rainbow, whatever, is more of like a, oh, that's nice versus a must-have, right? Like a double rainbow Guts is kind of a must-have in your run. If you don't get any double rainbows and Guts, you're probably not going to make it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of interesting how big a difference. I mean, in her career, hers is stamina heavy, so I get it. So maybe in a sprinter's career, where stamina doesn't matter as much, then this deck could work to farm, right? So I think it would be runner dependent. You can run a Kitasan Black card to get speed higher, right? To get, I think you could still get stamina to 600. It'd be a little bit of a struggle, but I think you can get there. But I think running Super Creek, you're gonna have more of a like an even experience. No real highs or lows. I mean, some runs are gonna be better than others, and you're gonna fail sometimes. You know what I mean? But unless you level up your cards, I think that's the best it's gonna get. Honestly, is how I feel about it now. Is my perception of it. And like I said, this is only one run. This is a really bad run as well, with Kitasan Black in the deck. But to me, it just didn't feel... It felt like... it almost felt like panicky in a way. I wasn't panicking, but I was more like, okay, dang, you know, how the hell am I gonna fill this hole in stamina that we've created? Because I don't have a stamina card. You know what I mean? Speed is, you know, is not as problematic to fill. You can fill it eventually, but you know, stamina, like, you know. So this is the deck I recommend for farming. Not these um, specific cards, but 3 gut, 2 wit, and then 1 stamina is gonna pretty much get you to 600 across the board. And I think we can close the book on this chapter of farming. I guess I should have titled this video like what are the best support cards for farming or something like that. Maybe I will change the title to something like that, but there was a huge chunk of the video where it's just my face and you couldn't see the you couldn't see the gameplay, so I apologize for that. That was my bad. I didn't realize that's what was happening. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. I think we proved which deck you should use for farming, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Which deck you should use. I mean, you know, for a free-to-play, what we have, what's available to us right now, what kind of support cards you should use for your racehorse, and what sorts of cards you should use for your farming for sparks. And they are different. I thought maybe you could use the same cards for your racehorse as for farming, because I don't think I had tried that yet. But it's apparently really hard to get to 600 across the board using your race, you know, your race support cards. And so that sort of makes sense to me then, like why these other cards exist, right? Because you got to think, when they made the game, let me go ahead and finish this before I continue. I'm just gonna click through it. I apologize for the delay. Almost there. 3 more. Sometimes these are really hard to get. You pretty much have to spin out. Alright, we did that. I think we're good there. We got all the little rewards and stuff. So what are we looking at here? What was I talking about? That was the other thing. Oh. So that's why these other cards exist, right? They have different purposes. You would think that, like, let's go to by specialty. You would think that if you had, you know, if you're building a racehorse, you want to use mostly speed cards, right? Like 3 speed, stamina can or cannot be important. You know, maybe it's not as important for some runners. Power, you know, are good. I haven't really done like a power specific deck, so maybe that's something I'll try next. Not for farming though. Maybe there's a different purpose for power cards. But you have guts, and it's like, who really uses guts, right? Like that's a question. Like who would use guts cards? You know, maybe you use one of them in your deck, just because, you know, maybe the whatever bonuses are really good on it or whatever. Wit I can see people using, right? Like that there's a whole Japanese strategy of using wit cards to recover energy instead of resting, whatever. So I can see sort of the use case for some of these, but guts not really. I don't see the use case for them that much, right? But they're in the game, so why would they be in the game, you know? So I think part of the game, the designers knew that you're gonna, like, farming is part of the game, that you're gonna have to farm the horses, right, for sparks. And they built this into the game, and that's why they give you these other support cards that are more specific to that style of play where you're farming stuff for stats, right? Because these cards don't really get you up into the upper echelons of competition, right? You're not really going to get into, 1100 speed, and you're not going to get there with these cards. I don't know, maybe maxed out, maybe, who knows. But I don't really think so. I don't think you can get like 750 points out of these cards, no matter how high level they are. So the reason why they're in there though is you have separate decks. You have your racehorse decks where you use certain supports for your racehorses, and then you have certain supports for your breeding horses, if you want to call them that, or your parent horses, your farm horses. So you have a farming deck and then you have a racing deck. So I think that's kind of interesting. Gives me I had a feeling that's what it was in the first place, that these cards were there for a reason. Or else you would never use them, right? So why would developers put something in a game that doesn't get used that much, or doesn't make sense to use? It makes no sense. I think they're in the game because they're meant to be used, and they're meant to be used in a certain way. And in some ways, these guts cards are more important than these, the speed cards or whatever. Because like without good parents, you're not going to advance in the game. So you need good guts cards and stuff, right? You need just good cards in general. But the better your overall, like, the better the cards that get you the stats that you need to get sparks, the better you're gonna do. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really can't wait at this point now to get more carrots. Like I said, we're more than halfway there. To pull some more support cards and see if we can, even out some of the support cards we have available and get them leveled up, and see what else we can do now. Now that we have all this knowledge, right? Like we've armed ourselves with a bunch of knowledge. Now we just need to put it into practice. We have some theories now of what will work and what won't work, right? We've been sort of limited to what we have, but once we start getting that optionality, right, of being able to choose what we can do, that's going to open up some new possibilities, right? We can do new things with that. And gain even more knowledge to advance in the game, and hopefully create better horses, better farms, better everything. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I just wanted to run the team race again one more time since we have enough RP points or whatever. See if we can get that last shop open. And besides, once I'm done with this, that'll do it for tonight. And tomorrow I'll go back to running actual horses again. We can run a Super Creek or an Air Groove. I've played Super Creek before. She's actually pretty good. I like Super Creek. Or Air Groove, who I've never played before. So I guess we could try Air Groove or Super Creek. I'll decide tomorrow. And hopefully this opens the store up for me one last time before I log off. I don't think that it did. Okay, well, I guess we just won't get our third store open today. That's fine. Whatever. Alright, well, that's it for today. I'll be back tomorrow to actually run a horse. And yeah, thanks for watching.